This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one day reading for September 17th, 2024. It's currently July 16th, 2024, 2:01 p.m. Eastern Time. SPY at the time of this reading is $563.13 USD. The image file that we're looking at was created on June 27th, 2024, 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So the overall theme and behavior for the 17th, what I'm seeing a lot of the time, like as of like 6 months ago, I feel like this card has kind of changed, and that happens sometimes. This card, I feel, what I'm seeing recently is that there's like a notable move into it on the scale of whatever the reading is. So if it's a one-day scale, it's a one chart scale. If it's a 1 month reading, it's a one month chart scale. So we have this like notable rally into it. It's a resistance level, but rather than us so much flattening out there, we just turn around and we come back down. It's almost like a truce, like almost an even distribution. Another one of those like full retracements. Although this one, in a lot of cases, is more than a full retracement. Behavior around the high side, we have a cash out opportunity, as indicated by the prior day's trade. When we opened up the long position, we're looking to close out of that long position at the high. Behavior around the low, we have a nullified gain card indicating that around the low we have a big move to the upside out of the low off of some sideways rotation. A big move to the upside, but the move out of the low is counteracted. Like there's some sort of chart behavior after the move out of the low, that big move to the upside. There's chart behavior that kind of makes it irrelevant. And I'm advised to trade around a notable move through key resistance on a one-day chart. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through it shortly thereafter with the full retracement. Now, we're going to get into the hour-by-hour chart behavior, as well as timing the highs, the lows, and the best trade opportunities. But before we do that, I just want to make sure you're aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill, and we do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. It's a threefold agreement between the universe and anybody utilizing this information for personal gain. Nothing wrong with gaining from this information as long as you are simultaneously helping other people. So the way that you do that is you go to our website, Tarot for Traders, to the resources tab. 5% of all profits should be donated forward to one of these charities here. Just click a link and donate. It's super easy. And 5% of the profit should be donated back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use the app Wise. It's reliable. Or you can use crypto. There's a ton of different QR codes for crypto donations. It leaves you at 90%. That's way more than a stockbroker would ever leave you with. With that said, guys, make sure to follow through on that rule of karma. As long as you do that, the universe considers you an angel investor of the channel. It's going to set it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. In the pre-market, we open higher and we continue higher in the pre-market. At the open, we meet a key resistance that we kind of like flatten out there momentarily. Maybe not even for that long. That turns into volatility. So we like have this resistance level around the open or in the first half hour there that acts as our first high, and we decline with increasing volatility there in that first half hour. At some point though, there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of that volatility and taking us back to a high, possibly even a higher high. Hard to say, but probably a higher high, and that turns over between 10 and 11. So it creates a crest. And there's a sideways fluctuating decline, a pretty notable decline into a day's low there between 11 and 12 o'clock, but huge move out of the low to the upside. It looks like we go from a low for the day right to the highest high of the day, which takes place roughly between 12 and 1, closer to 1 o'clock. Between 12 and 1, we have like this move higher, and then there's this retracement. So this retracement after the high, probably the retracement takes place after 1 or after the high around the 1 o'clock time frame. We decline back down to like the bottom of a range, not necessarily the low of the day, but the bottom of a range. We decline to that, and then we rally between roughly 2 and 3. We rally into key resistance, and we'll expect it'll look like we're going to break through the resistance based on the fact that we were doing sideways rotation at the bottom of this range, making it look like we established support. But instead of breaking through the resistance, or maybe we do momentarily, there's a disappointment, we turn around and we break down usually through that falsely established support. There's a trade opportunity at a trough right around 3 o'clock. I'll look at it in a little bit more detail in just a moment. And then somewhere between that significant trough in the last hour and the close, we get into some erratic behavior back and forth, in which in that erratic behavior, we do revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. And then we have sideways rotation as we move into we have sideways rotation in the post-market. The sneak preview for the following day, at some point, there's a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. So what I would look to do is I would be looking, you could if you're in a long position from the prior day, right? We were talking about opening up a long position in the midst of this low, and if you held on to it, you would want to close out of that long position. I would probably do so at the first high just to be on the safe side. And then when we have this sharp drop into a low here between 10 and 11 roughly, I would open up a long position for a day trade. I would close that long position by 1 o'clock when we hit a new high. This will be our highest price level for the day. I close out of that long position there. Or if you have significant risk tolerance, you might hold the long position from the 16th and close it out there. But you need to have significant risk tolerance. I don't recommend it. There's another day trade where at the high you could open up a short and close that short in the last hour, probably around 3 o'clock, where we have that significant trough. And it looks like at that failed attempt, at the high, you could open up a short to close for a day trade, or you could hold it overnight. You could probably add to the short here in this failed attempt to break through resistance, this disappointing failed attempt, and then you'd want to close out of those shorts at the open, it looks like, or within the first half hour. If you missed that opportunity, you could probably wait until midday, but I wouldn't wait for midday. And that's SPY for September 17th, 2024. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. Blessings to all my angel investors. Thank you for following that rule of karma. Blessings to all my angel investors.